Data with Dre. In part 2 of this video series, you will be learning how to use a data model in Excel to report insights of business transactions. You will understand the flexibility and speed that a data model provides when trying to answer questions about business transactions. Stay tuned. Let's level up your data efficiencies.
Hello and welcome to part 2 of the data modeling video in Excel. In the last video, we looked at adding our dimension tables, date, model table, location table, and salesman table, and also our 2 transaction tables, accessory sales and phone sales, to our data model in Power Pivot. We had connected all of our dimension tables to our transaction tables on the most granular part available. So on date, model table on model, location table on city, and salesman table on salesman. We were ready to start looking at the ask, which is that every single month we wanted to create the top accessories by manager by location, the top phone sales by manager by location, the top phone color sales by make. So now that we have all those pieces in working order, we're going to create a bit of a summary now. So let's create that first ask there, where we're looking at the top accessories by manager by location. So to do that, I'm going to insert a pivot table from the data model. Then we can see all of our tables pop up here. So here we would want manager from the salesman table and the rows of the pivot table. And then we're going to grab the city and the accessory and the amount. And what I like to do is, personal preference here, is make this tabular view just so it looks like a table. So here now we can see the top accessories per manager, and then we want to be able to, I would assume, sort these by the sum of the amount. So I'm going to go descending on the sum of amount. Then we have the highest value first. So then we can quickly create that summary for that very first ask. So the next ask was top phone sales by manager by location. So I'm going to go back into my summary here now. And for this, I'll go back to my data model, insert another pivot table, and I'm going to want to get probably those same rows. So manager, city. No, they want model, but I'm going to do make and model. And then the sum of the phone sales. And again, I'm going to turn that into my preferred format. And now we can see again that we have the top phone sales by manager. I'm going to do some sorting here as well, where we're doing descending on the make based off of the sum of amount. And for that last ask of the top phone color sales by make, again, we're going to go to insert a pivot table from the data model. And for this, going to do, well, we need that color out of the phone sale. So I'll do color. Make from my dimension table, model, and just the sum of the phone sales. And transform that. Now we can see our top sales by color. To kind of make this more apparent though, in this view, I would sum up the, or subtotal on the color here. Just do some formatting to make that darker, and then also sort based off the color here. descending on the sum of amount. And now we can see that top color where blue is taking the top at 22,000 and the bottom is green at 11,000. So I hope you're starting to see some of the value in having your data in a data model. But we didn't complete the ask completely yet. So we wanted to see this by month. So I could click into my very first pivot table, and now you're going to see the functionality of adding a date table across all tables. I actually want to add the date as a timeline. And I also wanted to not just change the dates in that very first table, but across all tables. So I'm going to go to something called report connections. I want to affect all pivot tables. So as I select January, you're going to see that data change across all tables. So that's pretty powerful. The other thing I want to do is also create a slicer for the make as well. And now we can see this across make and across month for all three of these summaries. So if I just want Apple in the month of January, oops, I'm going to report the connections on the make for across all tables. There we go. So Apple for the month of January. And look at the data that we can get. That very first top accessories, top phone sales for Apple, and then top colors in the Apple product. We can go click on Google, Motorola, Samsung, change the month that we're looking at. So this is very, very powerful. And the reason why this is so powerful is because you can create summaries very, very quickly. So when you get those questions coming at you, you can quickly answer those questions. If you were to do this in a traditional worksheet, you're creating one summary at a time. You're not going to be able to pivot between your different summaries. So this is an excellent way of utilizing the power of a data model. And I want to touch on one more thing here. So when we go to maintain this data model, and what I've asked here, I've asked AI for the next month of sales in that same format. So I'm going to take this data here that's provided and dump it into my phone sales table. Did transform the date there correctly. Just gonna change that to short date. There we go. So this is now part of my table. So once I've entered this data in for April here, now I want to refresh my data, but the other thing I also want to remember to do is go into the calendar table and update this to my now recent month of data in April. And then when I go back to my summary, I can just refresh all. Click on April, and now we have all of our April data. So that's how easy it is to update and maintain and get all these different summaries and insights. So this is why we data model, and I hope you see the value in this, and I hope you implement it in your workflows so that you can create reports super quickly and add value to yourself and your department. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Part 2 of this video series gave us the tools to not only provide a summary on our data, but set us up to effectively and quickly provide insights in the future. We also learned how to maintain our data model with accuracy and ease. Way to level up.
Mission completed.